Hi everyone, this is Sam Manfer with your Selling to C-Level tip number 24. Run together or your competitors will steal your relationships. This is very important, as this little figure here shows. You need to keep handing off, working with each other, running together, or your competition is going to take your relationships away. Now let me tell you a little bit about what I mean by relationships. They're more than knowing you. I mean, it's, you see someone and they say, hi, Sam, how you doing? That's not really knowing you. And it's more than, just saying hello, in the hallways and things like that. They know who you are. You know who they are. You can say hello. That's not a relationship. A relationship is when the person, she or he, will meet with you. You call, you say, hi, this is Sam, I'd like a meeting. Can we get together? And they say yes, and there's, no ifs, ands, and buts. He'll give you very valuable information, critical information on upcoming sales or, other kinds of things about the company. And they'll introduce you to their bosses and associates freely. This is what a relationship is about. Now, relationships are like bank accounts. They're really, really important in the sense that you have to make deposits in order to get the withdrawals. You have to keep giving to the individual, and if you're giving to the individual, then that individual is going to give back to you, which is the withdrawals. They're assets. They're absolute assets, these relationships, but professional relationships. The more you have, the better you are, the richer you're going to be, the more business you're going to get because you've got good, solid professional relationships at high levels, which is the next thing. The higher the title, the bigger the influencer, the more these relationships are worth, the more that deposit is worth, and the more you're going to get out when you take a withdrawal, and the more that asset is worth. Here's the other thing about professional relationships. You have to keep them current. You have to you have to learn about the executives. You have to meet with them regularly or they're going to forget who you are. You have to learn about the company and the industry because things are constantly changing. Have regular interviews, not just with your main contact, but with the leaders and their staffs. Maybe it's not going to be every week, every month. Maybe it's going to be every 3 months, every 6 months, maybe once a year with some of the staff members that aren't directly involved in your business. Browse the internet on a regular basis about their industry. Read 10Ks. I'm not really big on annual reports because they're usually dated and it's, a lot of fluff. But the 10Ks are what they have to report to the government. It's got a lot of competitive information, a lot of plans on where people are going, what new products are coming up with. You really get a lot of information. Join their industry associations and read those industry association magazines and, special magazines that are, designed for that particular industry. Now here's something that most people don't do, which is really important. You monitor the results of previous projects and sales that you've made. You want to keep in touch with what your stuff is doing because executives forget, pretty quickly that you did it and, they're benefiting from it. So you want to keep that in front of them. Plus, the systems are getting old. There's always newer things. Things are getting dated. And the competitors, for sure, are talking about these newer, better, cheaper kind of things. So you want to be sure that you're in tune with those things. And then you can get your rewards after you make your deposits. Don't try to get your withdrawals. You haven't seen the person in a long time. You go in there for critical information or what's going on. It's going to be tough to get those withdrawals because you haven't made deposits on a regular basis. And if you haven't kept in touch, your deposits disintegrate. A lot of sort of user fees, so to speak, if you haven't been using them. So here's the common situation. You believe your relationships are solid. Maybe you follow up after the sale. Maybe you have an occasional meeting with your contact, your main contact, to see what's going on. You stay in touch. Maybe you'll do some lunch. You maybe take them out to golf. You'll see them at some association events or something like that. Or maybe you see them when you have new product introductions. And this isn't enough. This is just basically, just window washing. You need to get deeper to really understand what's going on with the executives, the company, and the industry. The resulting problem is the competition starts to penetrate. They're there. I mean, just think of the underdog. It's much easier for the underdog to get in than for the top people to stay on top all the time, to stay there. If you're not really working that relationship, they're promising better, cheaper, faster, and if you haven't done your work, the executive's forgetting about you, and you're sort of getting out of tune. So let's check yourself. Let's see how you are. Our standard thing, always 4, most times 3. Usually, sometimes, never. Here's the first question. You can stop this anywhere along the line and answer these questions. Do you have information shares? I mean, do you get together little meetings to share information with Profit Center leaders and their staff? You know, not just your main contact, but with the Profit Center leader. That's important. How often do you do that? Do your relationships at high levels diminish after the sale stops or the project ends? You know, this is pretty common. This is pretty typical of people. You know, they're real tight with everybody, you know, and then the project, the sale's done, and then, you know, you don't see them again until the next one. Do you update success of old sales and projects to senior managers? Do you go in there and say, you know, I've been checking on what we put in last year or 2 years ago. It seems to still be working, you know, okay. This is what's going on. These are some of the pluses. These are some of the minuses. You know, not trying to sell you anything. Just want to keep you attuned of what's going on and, you know, if it's an issue or a concern to you. You know, do you do that? How often do you do that? And here's a good one for you. Now answer this. Do you replace your competitors even if they have good relationships? A lot of you like to think you do, you know, and I'm hoping you do, because I'd be coaching you that you need to be getting in there. So if you are replacing your competitors, even if they have good relationships, your competitors are trying to replace you. So how often do you replace your competitors even though they have good relationships? Here's the scoring. 1 plus 3 plus 4 minus 2 equals, take a second, put it together. 6 is good. If you got a 6, that's pretty good. Less than 6 suggests you need to pay closer attention to your customers' senior staff. That's the key thing. Remember, the higher the title, the more those deposits are worth. Okay, so if you want to learn a little bit more about this, we have C-Level Selling Book 24. Keep giving or keep running with your customer, and you'll keep those competitors out. Learn what to do, how to do it, a lot of strategies and tactics of how to make it work, 6-page narrative about it, 3 complete strategies and tactics to use just for this little topic alone, and then 3 take it to the street tactics to prepare you. This is really how to make you feel comfortable taking this information to the street. And then if you haven't already gotten your free ebook on getting past gatekeepers and handling blockers, it's there. You know, there's a link there. You can get that. Okay, there's a link right here. Press that. It'll take you right to the page where you can get this ebook. All right, this is number 24. Number 25 is our last of this series, and keep looking for it. All right, good selling in the meantime, and I'll see you on our last C-Level selling tip.